Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is episode 100. We made it to the big 100, and Left Hand is not here with me. He did the majority of the interviews at SHOT Show, so he's going to be doing a lot of those here towards the end of the show. But I do have a special guest with us, the man that caused us to grow our hair outrageously long. We've got AJ Hawk of the Green Bay Packers. How's it going, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on, and appreciate you growing your hair long as well, man. That's awesome. Support the cause. I appreciate it.
I enjoyed it. I didn't realize I had curly hair until I did that. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, like, it's weird. When I started growing my hair out in college, and I remember just one day we did it as a big tribute to Pat Tillman, who I've been basically one of my heroes since before he died a long time ago, and I was thinking, I'm like, man, I look back at all these pictures of like my dad and his friends when he was in college back in the 70s, and you're like, man, you look at your dad, he got sweet long hair there, and you think about it, and then you picture your dad now. Yeah. And so I was like, man, I remember thinking, I'm just going to do it. Why not? And then I grew it out, and I had it for like 8-9 years. It just, you get used to it for a little bit, and you roll with it. And then I ended up cutting it and started my whole foundation charity deal with it. And my daughter was, I think she was maybe 10 months when I cut it, and now she's 4. Wow. And she'll look back at pictures and she'll say, well, Dad, you remember that time? That's when you used to have long hair, though. You had long hair like Mom, she'll say. So I say, yeah, not anymore. Sorry.
It's an awesome foundation. It's one thing when Doug came on the show and we were talking to him about it and he convinced us to do it, you always think, okay, just kids with cancer, have the issues. But really, when you think about it, there's alopecia and there's tons of different conditions where kids end up without hair.
Oh yeah, and I have to admit, when we started it, my wife is the one that kind of had the idea, and I just went with it at first. I'm thinking, yeah, of course, this will be great. But then once we actually got involved, and we've had 3, this summer will be our 4th event that we have actually at our house, and like almost 300 people out in the back, and get a big tent and band and raise money, and we bring these kids out that have been affected. And sure. I was thinking, after the first year, they get up there and speak. We had a couple little girls get up and talk about their story and what they're going through chemo and everything. And they just talk about how much it means to them just to get a wig that's custom fit that looks like their hair. And they fooled me. I thought it was their own hair, and they were wearing wigs. And oh, wow. They were so grown up, and it just blew me away. Thinking, I was like, man, this is unreal. I was sitting there. Well, obviously, I have 2 kids of my own, 4 and 2, and I'm just thinking, like, this is unbelievable what these families have to deal with. So if we can just do one tiny little thing to help them, it makes us feel a little bit better, and we continue to try to grow it every year and come up with better ideas.
So there's another guy on your team with some long blonde locks. Why do I not see his getting chopped for the foundation?
People do ask me that sometimes, and I joke with him about that with old Clay. But he maybe when he's done playing football someday, he'll make the turn and come over to the dark side and cut that. But I don't think while he's currently in the league, he has any plans of cutting that. He's got that nice. I tell him all the time, he's got that nice, like, thick girl hair that everyone's looking for. My hair was ratty and nasty and everything, so it didn't hurt my heart at all to cut it. But he's got that thick girl hair that everyone's going for. So I don't blame him for keeping it for that.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was weird because when I went to get it cut, because I had to get mine cut first because I had a big meeting, but luckily I had gotten to the 12 inches, so I was good to go. But when I went to get it cut, I got a little scared. I called Doug. I was like, dude, am I going to lose, ability to speak or strength or something weird? It's kind of freaky.
Same feelings. I think that's natural, man. I had the same things. I had people telling me, like, don't do it. It'd be like Samson, where you cut your hair and you lose all your strength. And I'm like, come on, man. And luckily I didn't really think too much of it, but I did wonder what I was going to look like, because I hadn't, before I grew my hair out, I had like the straight high and tight with a zero, no guard on the sides and real short up top. So I was thinking, like, man, what am I going to do? So I just went into like this, the girl that cut my hair back then still does now to this day. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Just chop it off and then just figure it out. We'll see. And that's anyone that's seen me over the last couple of years, I change my haircut and hairstyle like every 6 months right now. I don't know what I'm doing. It's weird. It's still weird to me, honestly, having short hair.
Yeah. It took me a while to like have to only take 10 minutes to get ready. And I told my wife, I said, I will never, ever, ever give you a hard time for taking a long time to get ready again.
Yeah, isn't it nice not having to deal with that long hair? That was such a pain for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it'd take me an hour just to get ready. I was like, what's happened? It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, now you saved all that time. So I'm with you, man. I never say never, but I don't plan on growing my hair back out anytime soon.
Nice. And anybody out there that wants to get involved and help out, and they don't just have to grow their hair out. Like if they're bald, they can donate money too. Just go to hawkslocksforkids.org. Did I say it right?
That is correct, man. Thanks. Yeah,
awesome.
Of course. People have been awesome. Yeah. People, thank anybody that's helped. We've had people come out of everywhere helping us out, so I really appreciate it.
We've had a couple listeners that said that they were going to grow their hair out, but we never saw pictures. So if y'all are out there, definitely send those in. Now, we are a firearms-related show, and I can just hear our trolls going, why are we talking to a football player?
Yeah.
But as a lot of y'all know, AJ played football at Ohio State with our good buddy and fellow lead head, Doug Dadish. And Doug, of course, has Reaper Outdoors. And I was going to ask you a couple questions. Do you hunt at all? Did you hunt growing up?
Well, I haven't hunted in a long time, to tell you the truth. Honestly, the next time I will hunt will probably be with Doug and Master Chief Ron Bell. And that's probably the only thing that'll get me out there, walking around. Those guys are crazy, though. They'll stay out there 7 to 10 days living off the land. So that's something that I'd have to really get prepared for. But I used to hunt. I had a teacher in high school, my homeroom teacher, Dan Dillman, and he used to take me pheasant and grouse and rabbit hunting all the time right after Thanksgiving every single year, all through high school. And then actually even through college, I would come back on our Thanksgiving break and go with them. And I had honestly never like deer hunted, anything big. It was always walking up and down big fields and up and down hills for 10, 12 hours at a time, trying to find a pheasant out there. We didn't go to any high fence, farms where they throw them out there for me. I had to really work for it, and it was good, man. I had a lot of fun doing it. I really enjoyed it, and it was long, fun days for us. But I have not got out with Doug. I know Doug is an avid hunter. He always has been up there growing up with his dad. But where I came from, my dad wasn't a big hunter. He did every once in a while as a little kid, but not when he was older.
Now, do you own any firearms yourself?
Oh yes, I love firearms. I'm in my basement right now, and I'm looking at a big. I got a gun safe down here that's strapped to my father-in-law built my house, and we have this thing anchored to the foundation, so it's not going anywhere, and it'll hold. I think it has like a 45 capacity. It could hold 45
nice.
Guns in there, and that's why I don't have it anywhere near full yet. But I'm always working on it. I've always enjoyed guns from when I was before I turned 18. I remember trying to talk my dad into taking me, and he never really would. And then I turned 18, and I don't know if you've heard of the Bill Goodman's Gun and Knife Show. I don't even know if it's still going on.
Oh, yeah. They've got them in Nashville once a month.
Yep. I went to Hara Arena, Dayton, Ohio, and bought a 12 gauge and a little 9mm. Those are the first guns that I purchased.
Now, see, you just answered 2 of our 5 questions without me asking. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I still have them to this day. It was my 9mm is a little high point, and I remember I saved up all my money, and I had like $90.
Wait! I gotta stop you there. Well, your 9mm was a little high point.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh man, yeah, it was amazing. And I remember my oldest brother came with me. He's like, "Don't do this, man." He's like. And I'm thinking, I was like, what do you mean? I got $90 left, and it was like $80. And I was like, this is the only gun I can get. I'm going home with 2 guns today. So I did, man. I still have it, though.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I was like, people always rag on me for it. I was like, hey, you'll get the job done, won't it?
That's true. That's one thing about high points. Everybody bashes them. I'll give them credit. It's not something I'm going to conceal carry because it weighs a cinder block. It's not something that's comfortable to carry around all day. But for a nightstand gun, $80 to $150,
exactly, man.
It's going to run.
My 18-year-old brain was just thinking, all right, I got $90 burning a hole in my pocket, and I came here to get as much as I can, so I'm going to pick this thing up.
Nice. Now, is there one that you may have had at one point in time that you wish you had back? Like maybe you traded off for something or sold it or?
Well, I was lucky enough. I had, the guys that, why am I blanking on the name? But, Master Chief Ron Bellin and the guys, they built me an amazing an amazing AR-15 that I have now. Tidewater Tactical. My bad.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome. I love those guys. I have a bunch of stickers that their motto. Kill them all and let God sort them out. It's their version of that quote. But my daughter,
God will judge the. I'm looking at the sticker now. God will judge our enemies. We'll arrange the meeting.
Yes. So I have a big stack of those stickers on top of my gun safe, and I have a couple of them attached there. My daughter will come down. She's 4, and she'll ask for stickers, and she'll strap one right to her chest, the little stickers, and walk around the house, and she just thinks it's amazing. She doesn't completely understand reading the stickers yet, but she just loves their logo. But I have an AR-15 that my oldest brother basically hijacked from me. I remember it was like my pride and joy that I got back. I was probably 21, and I had this thing, and I would take it and go to the range and shoot it every once in a while. And then I went to Green Bay after the Packers picked me up, and I couldn't, I was trying to figure out how to get my guns there, if I was driving, flying, whatever I was doing. And so my oldest brother's like, well, I'll just hold on to this back here. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then you just drive it up when you come to a game sometime. And he's like, yeah, okay, sure. And then 9 years later, I still don't have that thing, and I find out my brother is competing in these leagues at night where he takes my AR and he completely tricked that thing out, and it's amazing. It doesn't even look like the same weapon now. And he goes and does the whole deal where you get time to go hide behind things and shoot and see how accurate you can be.
Oh yeah, and IDPA matches and 3-gun matches and all that.
Yeah, and so he's doing that all around Dayton and around Ohio, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man! That's my gun. He's like, well, if you want, I can take all this stuff off and send it back to you. And I was like, and he sends me a picture, and I was like, that thing is 10 times better than what I had. I was like, just keep it for now, man. You can. It's basically it's basically his for life. But I love that thing.
Nice. Now, is there one that you've been eyeing that's kind of on your bucket list? What kind of, if money was no object, no laws weren't an object, what would you get?
Well, I'm sure, I don't know how your listeners would feel, because I wish I knew more about weapons than I do. I just know I love them. I don't know enough of, I don't know what's considered the best and all that.
Well, I guarantee you they got a laugh out of the High Point.
Sure, man. 100%. I guarantee it. I completely own it. That thing it's hilarious. But honestly, any 50 cal is what I've always wanted to shoot. I know that's probably like a hack answer that you get from anybody, but I feel like every time I watch videos of guys shooting them, they shoot and then they just laugh. It just looks like so much fun, man. I just need it. I need a big, long-barreled 50 cal that I can lay down in my backyard and shoot.
Perfect.
I don't have enough land for that, but
I just bought.
Everyone can dream.
You're just talking about 50 caliber. I just bought a Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum revolver. That thing, it's a beast, and it's just a 4-inch too. So it's one of those you see the videos of where people shoot them and it smacks them in the head if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah, man, you better be doing some forearm and shoulder exercises before you pull the trigger on that thing, man. That would be a fun deal to shoot for sure. I got a little 6-shooter that I've always wanted. I got a Beretta. I just always wanted a 6-shooter, and last year I bought my wife a little Beretta 40 cal for her for Christmas last year.
Nice.
It was secretly a gift for both of us, but I sold it as a gift for her. And so that thing's my gun. That thing's in my safe right now, and she loves it. It's beautiful, beautiful little weapon. But and I was like, I got to get myself something. So I got this nice single action 6-shooter. It just looks cool, man. That's the only reason I got it, and for no other reason other than I wanted to have a 6-shooter. I was like, I just got to have one. I need it.
There's something that endears me to revolvers. I don't know if it's the old westerns I used to always watch or what it is, but there's just something about them. Even though, carry wise, I always carry a semi-automatic Glock, but the revolvers, I love them, man.
You have to. It's just something about them. It really is. When I clean that thing, I just love to get it nice and shiny, and just, I don't know, just something about it. It's, it's like, it just seems so American to carry one of those, or at least to have one, not to carry that. You couldn't carry it. I wouldn't want to be carrying that every day, but it's fun.
Well, it's funny because with my size, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'7", pushing 300 right now.
Wow, you're a really big dude.
Yeah, I'm a big guy. But so it's easier for me to conceal stuff, and everybody jokes with me that I should appendix carry or ankle carry like a Desert Eagle or something like that. I may try it one day.
Do it.
Try it with my new 500.
No one's messing with you, especially people that listen to this podcast. They're not going to come near you.
Exactly. So you mentioned podcasts, and I didn't know about this until about 20 minutes ago when I was talking to Doug on the phone. So you've got one too. So you're kind of a competitor, but not really, because you're probably just talking sports the whole time, right?
Well, I'm really not talking much sports, but no, I'm not a competitor with you guys. I've only been at it for probably 6 months. I can't be in the same atmosphere as you guys. You guys are professionals, but yeah, man, I've always been a huge fan of listening to podcasts forever. For the last probably 2 years, that's how I fall asleep every night. I put my little earbuds in. And I scroll through Stitcher, my iTunes app, and just find like whoever has a good guest on or whatever. A lot of comedy. It's a lot of comedy podcasts.
Yeah, and, you ever listen to the Joe Rogan podcast?
That's what got me into
it. Oh
podcasts.
Man, dude, that's that's what got me into it too.
Yeah, I've been listening to Joe, and I'm such a nerd. I'll sit there when I'm working out and go to YouTube, and I'll watch the Joe Rogan 3-hour podcast while I'm working out. I'll have it on, and I can, because they film the whole thing, and so that's what got me into it. And so that's why I just got. It's like he introduces you to all these weird, crazy people, and then you go find them, and you see that they have podcasts, and so yeah, like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I just like, man, I'm just going to do it. And so I have my own now, and it's on iTunes and all that. It's called The Hawkcast, and I think I have 18 episodes out. Maybe it's about like usually anywhere between like 45 minutes to 2 hours each guest goes. It's just real casual, fun conversations. Like I'm about to put up my last one I just recorded was with old Goldberg, the wrestler.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, but I've had everybody. I've had multiple Navy SEALs. I'm huge. I love military guys, so I've had probably 3 or 4 SEALs. I'm gonna have Ron. I'm gonna have Ron come on eventually, and then just different people like John Daly.
Yeah.
That's
oh man, I bet that's a trip.
Oh, it was great. He called from a golf course on his phone, and mine has a little video. Like we do it through Skype with the video on too. And my buddy runs it with a little green screen on mine. He just puts a little watermark logo or whatever in the back of mine. But so it's like side by side.
Yeah.
And on iTunes it's just audio, but on my site or whatever you can watch it on YouTube. And John Daly calls from a golf course on his phone through FaceTime. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, this will work, I guess. And then he's smoking cigarettes throughout the whole thing. And he stayed with me for like over an hour. He was so awesome, man. What a great dude. And guys, like that's what I like. I just random people who I think would be fun to talk to. I have on. Like my first guy was Brett Michaels. Yeah. Then I have like Joe Buck and Kirk Herbstreit and different sports guys. So it's just honestly, there's no theme. It's just guys who I think would be fun and cool to talk to.
And you just randomly roll with it. That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. Hoping I'm trying to get a female on. Do you ever have females on here?
Yeah, we've had a few on.
Okay, people are telling me that, and I've reached out to multiple females, but it's like a lot of them have been either like nervous or scared to come on. But
really,
I'm in the works of trying to get Rosie O'Donnell on here.
Oh,
she's going through. See, she had. I was talking to her, to some of her people trying to set it up, and then I guess I just found out she's leaving the View and all kind of stuff going on. So I think that's got pushed back a little bit, but hopefully she'll be the first female guest I have because she's a stand-up comedian too, and I love stand-up. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, that's odd that you hadn't been able to get a few. I mean, with ours, I guess the women that we get are usually hunters or they're in the firearms community somehow, so they're not quite intimidated by anything.
Well, have you had? I found a lot of girls that I've talked to. They don't listen to podcasts. Or they don't really understand what I'm talking to, like what it is, And and if you're not a podcast fan of like other you don't listen to any, you wouldn't really understand, I guess, what I'm doing. And I try to explain it or send them a link, and sometimes it just doesn't resonate. But I'm hoping, man. I've had a couple different people about to come on, but working out the schedules is the hardest. Have you ever had to ask you a question? Have you ever had that girl, I don't know her name, that keeps catching all this heat for posting pictures with this big old animal she's shooting?
No, but we have talked to some people that know her that are going to try to get us that interview.
Okay, yeah. What's the deal? What's she killing that everyone's mad about?
Just anything. I mean, I think she went on an African safari and got a kudu or something like that. I could be wrong on the animal, but it's no different than if she got a deer here, and people were just going ballistic saying, oh, you're animal slayer, how dare you. It's just trolls going crazy. They've got nothing better to do.
Okay, so she's like, I just know how mad people were getting at this girl, and I was like, I don't know. I don't pretend to know what's going on, or if she's over there and getting. Do you have to get permits, or how does that work to go get the animals over there? I know there's some big trips where you can go, and I know a guy here who has a living room just full of just zebras and crazy exotics that he pays ridiculous money to kill.
Oh yeah, they can pretty much. Everything that she's doing is on the up and up, from what I understand. She's 13, 14 years old. So I think it's just people that are kind of anti-hunting are seeing a young girl with this kill that she had that I'm sure she's taking home to eat, just like the majority of us hunters do. And they're just turning it into a PETA thing.
Okay, I got you, man. Yeah, that's the thing. People are everywhere. One of my pheasant hunts turned into an impromptu rabbit hunt because there was no pheasant around. So we ended up getting like 6 or 7 rabbits, brought them home, and Dan Dillman, my teacher, taught me how to prepare them and everything. And boom, I ate them for dinner the next night we fed up my whole family. And it was cool. It was something we'd never done before.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because those people that get on there and they troll hunters and anything like that, they don't understand that what hunters are doing is actually more for animal. Gosh, I can't think of the right word. It helps. It helps.
Conservation.
Conservation. Thank you.
Yeah, man. It's like that all the wild boar. I know down south in Texas and Louisiana. My buddy Matt Flynn was saying just how that's a crazy world, man. All those wild boar. I know my buddy Anthony Schlegel hunts them with a knife. Nice. So it's a weird thing, man. I know those things just replicate like madmen, keep having babies.
Oh, it's like what's the other NFL player? He's been on a few hunting shows lately. Played for the Vikings, defensive end.
Jared Allen?
Yes, he's a big hunter, and he's done, I want to say, like cold steel spear hunts of hogs and stuff like that.
Really? I want to go. I want to go spearfishing in the ocean. You ever done that?
No, I haven't, but I want to go.
That would be sweet. I'm sure it is very difficult, though.
Yeah. Well, first you got to balance on those itty bitty canoes.
Yeah, man. I can't. Yeah, that just looks like fun. It looks like something you take a lifetime to be able to master.
Yeah, but it's wild. But then I've seen, actually, I think it was Jared Allen that I saw in this video. It was a hunting video where he's up in a tree with a spear, and I can't remember if it was a buffalo or if it was just a deer, but it was a bigger animal, bigger game that he was hunting, and he just slung the spear down into him like the Indians used to do. It was pretty amazing.
That would be awesome. I can see him, Jared Allen. I've been around him in a few events, and he's an awesome dude. Really good guy and really nice guy. But I have seen some crazy things. I know he has a huge charity event he helps wounded warriors, and he's just a fun guy. And man, that doesn't surprise me that he would be sitting up in a tree with a spear hunting some big game. That's awesome. Good for him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, when you were playing with Doug at Ohio State, how many times did you just smash through him? Because, I know he was an offensive lineman and you were a linebacker, right?
Through Doug? Yeah, see, that's the thing. I got to go against Doug every single day at college. And so Doug and I were very close. We're super close now, even though he lives in Nashville and I split my time between Green Bay and Ohio. But we're really close. And the funniest thing, for whatever reason, me and Doug talk about it now, we used to just fight in practice all the time, almost every day. At some point in practice, we would get in a weird punching match. We'd have our helmets on and stuff. We'd never ripped each other's helmets off. But we would just, because it seemed like we would always, he played every position on the O-line. Doug can do it all. And so it's he was so big and his arms are so long and he's so strong. I'm like, man, get away from me, man. This is practice. I'm trying to go tackle the guy with the ball. And Doug was just everywhere. He's always blocking me. So we would just lock horns and start fighting, throwing punches at each other's heads and trying to make sure we had an open hand. You gotta throw a punch with the open hand though when you have helmets on. You don't want to break your knuckles or break your hand. But and then 2 minutes later, we're great friends, and we still were through the whole time. It just for some reason we always did that. It was it's how we had fun during practice, and it's so funny now to think about that when we talk about it whenever we get together.
And talk about somebody that I'm just going to bust his balls while he's not even here, but somebody that was just huge, and now he's all lean and ripped up. And
how weird is that? Yeah, man. All of a sudden, Doug. So he gets done playing, and he's got crazy shoulder injuries and hands. The game takes its toll on you for sure, and his shoulder has been messed up for a long time. And now, Doug was when he came to Ohio State, he was 330, I think.
He's a big old boy.
Yeah, if you look at his pictures, man, his head and face were so big. It's so funny to look at. And then all of a sudden all of a sudden Doug shows up. I'm talking to him and texting with him, and he's like, "Well, yeah, I figure I'm gonna drop some weight. I don't need to be this heavy to walk around here, and especially when he's walking through the woods for 7 days at a time and filming the show." And so he shows up at my house. I'm like, "Are you kidding me, Doug?" And he weighs like the same as me. Doug's like 230. He's like 235. But what's unbelievable about Doug? He's like 235, and it's like his arms are the same size. He's still got these gigantic, big Kong arms, but he just, yeah, man, he looks good. I give him credit. You gotta give him credit for that. It's not easy to do. And a lot of linemen go the other way and will get up to 400 or 450 or something when they're done.
Oh yeah, I was watching something during the whole playoffs and everything, and I can't remember the guy's name. Dark hair, kind of pencil thin beard. Used to be a lineman, and he has dropped. I mean, it looked like he dropped 150 pounds from the time he was playing. I can't think of his name to save my life.
There's been a couple. A guy named Alan Faneca lost a ton of weight and he ran a marathon. Alan Faneca, he was like 9 months removed from playing his last game, and I think he dropped like over 100 pounds. He was down to like 200 pounds. He almost looked sick. He was so skinny.
Oh, it was Saturday, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Jeff Saturday.
Yes.
I played with Jeff. Jeff's last season was in Green Bay.
Yeah.
You're right. I remember that. So Jeff got done in Green Bay and then announced his retirement. And we talked to my wife talks to his wife, and I talked to Jeff here and there. And she's like, "Oh yeah, Jeff's lost like 50 pounds. Like within like 2 months of being out of the league, it seemed like he lost all this weight. He looks good too. It's weird. Those linemen, I think sometimes they get worried. It hurts your body to be carrying all that weight around.
Oh yeah, you do.
You're 6'7".
Trust me.
You carry 6'7". You need to be almost 300 pounds.
Ooh, yeah. Skinny for me is about 240. So healthy is around 260-ish for me. I'm hitting 300. I need to be down around there, so I'll be happy.
I feel bad for you on an airplane and the guy next to you.
Oh my gosh! And with my real job, I fly everywhere all the time, and it's a pain.
When they see you, do they give you exit rows or try to take care of you, bump you to first class if there's a seat open?
If I'm on a plane with first class, they usually do. But Southwest, they used to let tall guys pre-board and get the exit row. And then they stopped that, and they said, no, if you pre-board, it's a disability, so you can't have a exit row. So I'm like, okay, because I'm tall, I got a disability. So now I can either pre-board and get the bulkhead, which will let me have that, or pay the extra $40 or whatever and hope that nobody in front of me gets the exit row.
You just got to hit a limp on the way in. When you get within 50 yards of the gate, just start dragging one of your legs.
Exactly.
Give that be your little fake disability until you sit down.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. It's been fun. You're welcome back anytime. Maybe we'll get you and Doug on here at the same time and hear some crazy stories.
Sure, man. Thanks for having me. Doug's been talking about you guys for a long time. I know you guys do good work, and he appreciates the relationship he has with you. So
yeah, good guy.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem.
Me and Doug, it'd be fun. We'd love to come on together because then we can. You're right. Then you start remembering all the fun stories that you had together.
Oh yeah, and we'll get them out of you too.
Yeah. Hey, I'm an open book.
See, the first one is just the easy, laid back one. Then the second interview, that's when we start pulling it all out.
That's good. That's why I love the podcast world, man. Everyone's so honest. I'm sure you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. He's not hiding anything. He's not hiding anything, man. Either the guests. So that's why I think podcasts are so big, man. They're taking over. They're the new medium that everyone should eventually be listening to, I think. So that's why I really enjoy listening to people, because they're honest. So I figure I might as well be too.
Absolutely. Before we roll to Left Hand's interviews at SHOT Show, go ahead and plug your podcast, any the websites for the foundation, all that stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, our through the charity that we started, Hawks Locks for Kids. You can go to hawkslocksforkids.org. That's where you can go and figure out how to donate, and whether it's hair, money, whatever it may be, or just get some information to check it out. We're doing different things all the time now with the James Cancer Hospital in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
So that's something that we're excited about. We're going on the Ohio State charity cruise for cancer here, actually leaving Thursday for that, leaving in a couple of days for that. And then, my podcast thing, it's called The Hawkcast. You can go to thehawkcast.com if you want to check it out. I still feel so stupid plugging things. I'm sorry. I hate it, man. And Doug always says, you got to do it, man.
Just go plug it.
Yeah, it's like, it just feels so stupid. I feel like terrible. I feel bad for even thinking. But yeah, man, whatever. Anyone wants to check it out, you can find it on iTunes, The Hawkcast, or whatever. I think the dude, my buddy who helps me with the technical side, ajhawk.com has it. It'll direct you right to my talks. So Goldberg will be up soon, and then hopefully some other good ones down the road.
Awesome. I'll definitely check it out. And between you and Colt McCoy and all these names, they're just like perfect sports names.
I didn't even think about that until as I got older. I think I got in college. Everyone's like, "That's cool, man. Hawk, it's your last name." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah, man."
Well, it's like, that's the whole reason I named my son Hooper. His mom and myself both played basketball, so he's going to have. And I'll give you my last name off air, but
well, I've said before publicly. I'm not scared. My son, he's 2 now. His name is Hendrix, and so
nice.
his middle name is Knight, Knight. So he can tell people, you can call me Nighthawk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I remember that was a hard sell for a couple of days with my wife when she was pregnant. I was like, we have to. But we'd be doing the world a disservice if we didn't name this middle name Knight. And so my daughter says all the time, "Hey, Dad, where's Nighthawk? Where's Nighthawk, Dad?" I was like, "Keep that up, Lennon. Make sure her daughter's Lennon too. But make sure the other kids hear that too. We want that name to catch on."
Nice. All right. Well, we're going to roll into Left Hand and his interviews now. AJ, appreciate it again, man.
Thank you.
Oh, and before I forget, I keep forgetting to say this every week that we've had the show, even though we've been gone for like a month. We are going to be at a MAG 40 class with Masad Ayub in April. I think it's going to be April 30th. But if you go to nighthawkcustomtraining.com, you can check that out. Also, check out our buddy Chaz over at the Road Gunner podcast. He's the one that's setting all this up with Nighthawk Custom Training. So go to nighthawkcustomtraining.com if you want to go to this MAG 40 class. Sign up. We'll be there. You can see us make fools out of ourselves and anything. All right, now we'll go to Left Hand in his interviews.
And this is our 100th episode. Amazing milestone for the Talking Lead crew. And to help us celebrate this, we have the guys from the Artificial Shoulder Pocket, ASP, also known as the ASP, here with us today. Brian, Alex, welcome in, guys.
Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it. Congratulations on the 100th show, man. It's big stuff.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys sponsoring it.
No.
You're making it possible. Without you guys, this wouldn't be going on right now. So
we
greatly appreciate it.
Great. Good things, man.
It's been a great show so far.
It's been fun. I've had a great shot show, and it's great to be on this show too.
You guys are kind of rock stars. I think you've probably got one of the coolest, most innovative products here that we've seen.
Appreciate that, man. I innovative. I think you're absolutely right. It's hard. You see a lot of things that are very cool, a lot of sexy stuff out there. But you don't see a lot of true innovation, true changes, new ideas. So we're happy we can bring one of those to the industry, and it's been really well received. So it's been great.
Well, this show kind of needs something like that. There's a lot of the same old stuff people are just doing over and over again, just different colors. But you guys have actually brought something that's useful, kind of outside the box thinking. Tell us about the ASP, the ASP.
Yeah, so basically what it is, it's a weapon stabilization system utilizing rare earth magnets. One of the issues that we identified through our combined experiences in Iraq and Afghanistan was that we were having trouble shouldering our weapons while wearing our armor systems because the straps get in the way, or they're just cut in a fashion that covers the entire natural shoulder pocket.
Right. Let me cut you off right there. Let's qualify you, Alex. Tell our listeners, and Alex has been on the show before. You guys have heard Alex, but just for our new guys catching you, give us a little bit of your background.
I'm a former recon Marine, scout sniper, and was a MARSOC instructor.
So you know a little bit what you're talking about, don't you?
Yeah, I like to think that I know a little bit about the tactical field.
Yeah, so you haven't just Googled Afghanistan and that stuff. So
no, I actually saw the place once or twice.
You've been in the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Interrupt.
So we've identified that issue, and it's something that a lot of guys are having, not just us. And we wanted to fix that, and Cress and Brian have been working on it for a long time as well. And it started out with trying to find a mechanical means to fix it with like a cup for the buttstock or some kind of L-shaped brace that you'd attach to your armor carrier to kind of force the gun in the right place, but it wasn't a very elegant solution. It didn't work for everyone. Mm-hmm. So we started messing around with magnets, and we kind of, through R&D came to what we have today, which I think is a much more elegant solution that is universal. I mean, it'll work on anyone from a female soldier who's 5'6" to Zeke
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, watch.
Yeah, so it'll work on anybody, and it works on all your different armor systems. that you have.
So just so they understand what it is, this is an attachment that goes onto either your plate carrier, your backpack.
Yep.
Kind of goes on your
chest rig,
straps, your chest rig,
anything that you're wearing.
I mean, you can strap it on anything really, but for its intended use, what you guys have, it goes around the shoulder area, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But then also the butt pad adapter that goes onto the weapon.
Yeah, and it's funny how stuff works out, because when we first started this, I wanted to solve one problem. It was like I was actually still in the military when I put the patents in for this thing.
All right, I'm going to stop you there too.
All right.
This is the first time you've been on our show.
This is.
So tell everybody a little bit about you, Brian, your background, and before we get into the details of the product here.
No problem. So I was both enlisted and an officer in the Army. When I was active duty for a little over 10 years, and I got right out of that and started this company. And that was only 3 years ago. But 2 tours in Iraq, what accumulates to about 11 months time in Afghanistan, spread out over a couple years. Lots and lots of trips. The unique thing there is I got to see every single battle space because of what I was doing. I was doing technology for the military, taking it out to brand new bases, or taking brand new technology, out to all the different bases, seeing where we could help people out.
Right. Yeah.
So I really got to see a lot of the battlefield and a lot of what was going on.
So again, somebody else who's been there, done it, seen the need for this product, and you've delivered it.
Yeah, we watch soldiers all the time, and this came out of my own frustration is where this really was born. You go to basic training, you go to whatever, we teach, basic rifle marksmanship, and seating your buttstock in your shoulder pocket, that's one of the fundamentals. I mean, that's just one of the basics, right? So when we talk about getting back to basics, then we have a higher threat in Iraq and Afghanistan, so we add body armor. But nobody went back to see how that affected the basis of shooting. And I watched 2 different things. I watched guys starting to use their biceps to rest, to be kind of a stop towards the right, to slip it out of their shoulders. And I watched guys in combat shooting from above their shoulder and below their shoulder, down almost in their armpit.
Shooting off the collarbone. Huh?
Basically shooting off the collarbone or something like that. And when you see that, you got to question, wait, we trained one way, we're doing it this way, and what do soldiers do? They make something work.
They adapt.
They adapt. They make it work. But I was sick of seeing guys pull their shoulder sleeve over and then seat their weapon, or all these different things that I've seen happen.
Yeah.
So we wanted a system that integrated, and like Alex said, we tried mechanical means. I mean, I've been working on this system. This isn't just something that came together. It's been 5 years of R&D to get to where we are.
Yeah.
Because all the mechanical ways to do it, they're different. Everybody's body shape's different.
Right.
So when you put a mechanical piece on there, the angles are always different because everybody's torso is different.
Shape.
Yeah.
And then when you throw the carriers on top of that, then that just deforms it even more.
Exactly. So the thing is, that's the first problem we tried to solve, but it's funny how stuff works out, because we're like, hey, we want to solve that problem. But then we realized, oh my gosh, it does all these other things.
Yeah.
Things we never truly expected when we built the system. We were trying to solve the problem of seating your rifle with body armor on.
And then you come up with all the other ancillary benefits, like you reduce weight for the operator.
Yeah, and that's huge over time. If you're only on a range, and you shoot for an hour, maybe 2 hours, you might not feel it as much. You might say, why do I need that? But you go into a military or somebody that uses that gun for a living all the time, and that's a game changer. When you can transfer weight off the arms over 8, 10, 12-hour missions, patrols, when you can transfer that back to the torso, it makes a huge difference in fatigue.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and just that additional mobility that they gain, in those situations, when they find themselves in that situation, it frees up, another hand, so they're able to
and that was huge.
Add a little extra element to the battle.
Alex and Crest took the system out, and before we ever came out to the market with it, we tested it with soldiers. I mean, we went back to soldiers and Marines, and we tested it with them. And we did that out at Fort Carson, Colorado. Shout out to the 138 Infantry Stryker out there, and thank you guys for taking care of us. But we took it out to them, and we did one of their live fire exercises with them. Their range, if you will, they have to assault an obstacle 400 to 500 meters away, get through concertina wire, get through. they're assaulting objective before they ever pull their trigger.
Right.
Carrying ladders, doing all kinds of stuff like that. Those guys have made a huge difference. You ask those guys, they loved it because it takes all that weight off that rifle,
right.
And lets them use those other hands.
And I've been watching you guys explain it to people, and the people that that are the operators, the military guys, the law enforcement guys, they seem to get it, just like that. Before you even get into your explanation of what it is and does, those guys seem to get it. But the layman, such as myself, those guys, it's a little harder for them to pick up and understand. But once you get into it and start explaining it, then it just makes sense.
The coolest part about being at SHOT Show this year has been seeing all that feedback from guys, and when they first see it and feel it, and they're like, oh, and the light goes on when they watch it and they feel it and they get it. That has been the coolest thing for me personally.
It's like, where has this been? Why hasn't somebody developed this sooner?
I always have told people, even me, because I'm a bit of a skeptic at times. If I didn't know nothing about this product and you said, oh, we're using magnets and we're gonna hook it to your weapon and hook it to your body armor and I'd be like, really? Like, so I understand some of that skepticism,
right.
But it's great when you see people see it for the first time and feel it, because feeling it is where it really makes the difference.
Yeah.
They feel it for the first time and the light goes on, they're like, and they're sold. That's been the great moment of SHOT Show for me.
So be honest. You've got children, right?
I do. I got 3 of them.
You got 3 of them, and they're younger.
Oh, the little guys.
Yeah, and you guys have a refrigerator in your house, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guarantee you that this idea came about where you were hanging up one of their school projects on the refrigerator with a magnet, and the light bulb went off, wasn't it? That's how it happened, wasn't it?
I wish it was that easy. I can take no credit for the actual magnet idea. That was Cress Clanton, who works for us. He's a great guy. We'll have to have him sometime on here. But
absolutely.
That was him. I failed. I had the original idea, but I failed time and time again trying to build mechanical means to do this. So then I kind of said, Cress, this is what I've been doing. Take a look at this. How can we do this? And he went to tinkering, and so maybe I'm going to have to ask him because he's got a couple little girls. So.
Okay, yeah. I guarantee it's something along those lines.
Either way, that can be the story. I'm cool with it.
There you go. When we first had Alex on the show, you guys have done some rearranging, I guess, with the ASP, the Artificial Shoulder Pocket. Originally, you were the Asymmetric Technologies ASP. Now, you guys have started your own company with the ASP now, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about how that came to be?
Yeah, asymmetric. Lawyers. That's the short answer.
Legal.
Yeah, liability and and the fact that America a lot of times doesn't have their big boy pants on. But that's a whole nother story. But how it really came up was Asymmetric Technologies, which is the first company I started when I got out, and where we did all the research and development for this product. Under our basic services that we do to the government are trainers, FSRs. We send guys overseas to Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever they need to go to train new technology to the military, and really help. It's more than that. We try to help integrate that and make sure we call it tech transfer. I jokingly tell people we do nerd translation. We translate nerd to army and army back to nerd.
There you go. You're translators.
Yeah, we're translators. And it, so that company, we had to start Artificial Shoulder Pocket LLC, which is going to sell the ASP and manufacture it and do all that stuff. And it was basically a liability call from the lawyers. They said, nah, you don't want to mix all this stuff, So it's a pain in the ass to me, honestly. I wish we could just do what we need to do and be all in one. But
well, that's what you needed to do. So, I mean, I think it's a smart move. And you guys have got your own website for it. You got your own Facebook page for it. It's really cool. So, Alex, tell us about the website where people can go check it out.
Yeah, so you guys can go to aspsystem.co and check us out. Our website went live in the last week. It's a beautiful website. You can go on there and pre-order. Check out our media. Yeah. We've got media from you up there, VSO Gun Channel.
That's right, yeah. So you guys have some professionally done, I mean, we're not professionals, but you got some really nice professionally done videos as well. And then they can go to VSO, they can go to our YouTube channel and check out some introductory videos of the product as well.
Correct, and we've got those videos that we did in-house coming out here in the next couple of weeks. We got a little teaser that'll come out first, and then
I'm excited about that one.
Release a bigger one. Yeah, you'll see a couple familiar people in there.
Yeah, there's a couple cameo appearances there.
Yeah.
Not going to mention any names, but check out Left Hand.
Talking Lead.
So we're at 2015 SHOT Show. You guys, I know you've been really busy, getting your product in front of some people here, but have you had a chance to actually walk the floor and check out some of the other booths and products that are here?
The circle of around our booth, is about 100 meters. That's about as far as I've gotten into the show. I walk out maybe to get a coffee and what I see along the way.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have probably been one of the busiest booths here that I've seen.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
Next to Glock.
We've had a lot of buzz, and, it's been great because the thing that has really helped, make me feel confident when you go out to bring a system like this is people are telling other people, and they're showing up. And people are saying, "Oh yeah, we heard about you guys. You're those magnet guys with the thing," and and they're all excited when they show it. Yeah, you're those magnet guys, science, and so that's been great.
Whatever gets them talking, right?
Yeah. So they've been coming over with referrals, that's nice because we're as a small company, we don't have big marketing campaigns, we don't have stuff like that, but it's great that the word of mouth
is the best campaign that you can have, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
It seems to be working here at the show for you.
Yeah, when I see people, I'm like, hey, have you seen the ASP? Do you know what it is? And they're like, I think I've heard that. And I'm like, oh, we're the magnet guys. They're like, oh yeah, I know who you guys are. I heard about you. It's like, okay, that's kind of who we are now. We're the magnet people.
Yeah. And on that note, we really got to thank High Ground Gear. If you haven't seen their stuff, they've got awesome kit, and they gave us a piece of their booth to show it. Without them, we wouldn't even be here at the show. So we're really appreciative to Roland, Brendan, and those guys. And
we're hoping to get them on the show. So if they get time, send them up here.
No, it'd be great. And they're manufacturing the textile pieces that go attached to your vest. We searched all over and looked at all kinds of people to manufacture this for us. We're very, very dedicated to making sure it's high quality. And High Ground Gear's quality was literally the best that we had seen. Their tolerances and all that. They do a lot of aircraft work. Mm-hmm. So for us, it was a very easy choice to pick them to manufacture for us.
Yeah, so we got to do a booth review with them, and we'll have that posted up on our YouTube channel coming up soon.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool products that they've got down there. So you and I got to spend some time Monday on the range for the media range day.
Yeah.
So we got to see some pretty cool stuff there. What was kind of your coolest thing you saw there?
We saw lots of cool guns for sure, and it was my first time at Range Day. I've been to SHOT Show 2 other times. It was my first time on Range Day, and I'm definitely going back. It's just you got all the guns there you can shoot in the world, free ammo. I mean, what could you ask for?
Yeah.
But this is going to sound weird, but the coolest thing I liked, there was that air gun.
Yes,
It was Crossman.
Crossman, was it
Benjamin?
Pitbull
Yeah, it was like a Pitbull air gun. It was a 357.
357
air gun.
That was unreal.
And we were probably hitting things out to. We were probably 50 yards very reliably.
I think 75.
75, 50, 75 yards. And we were knocking stuff dead. And just hearing that little sound like nothing. And
it's like a suppressor, It's just, a silencer.
Yeah, I think that was the coolest thing. And, there were a lot of fun normal guns, but that was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really thought that was cool.
I could see shooting that thing all day long and not getting tired of it.
Oh, yeah. And where I live, I live in the city now. We have some land that we luckily get to go out to and test and shoot and get our gun on. But, where I live in the city, if you got problems with rodents or pests, get one of those little things. And
definitely, they were telling us that they've got like some big game that they've taken down with that. There was like elk.
That was crazy, man. Whatever that was, it was like big African game they took down with a freaking air gun.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 200 pounds at least, whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, it's a 147 grain bullet. I mean, he didn't mix words. He said, "This is a bullet."
Oh, it was.
It's not a pellet.
And just waiting, ATF's going to get a hold of that one pretty soon here.
Yeah, as long as people don't, push their buttons, maybe they'll leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, it was seriously. I mean, it was cool because I never, it made me rethink what I thought about air guns. You know what I mean? I had one. Everyone had one as a kid, probably. If you're doing, in this stuff,
you think air gun, you think, maybe a couple $100. You might spend get a top end. Well, these things can get in excess of $2,000.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that air guns got that expensive.
For me, I always think of the Christmas Story, and you'll shoot your eye out. I mean, crap with that thing, dude. I mean, that thing's not a toy. That thing is that's lethal.
You can snipe with that thing.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable, and it's a bullpup design.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it too. They're bringing the bullpup into the air gun world.
And you start thinking about, I mean, even for absolutely no report. I mean, there's probably a few places you could use that tactically. That
Oh, yeah.
maybe not that exact weapon, but that concept.
Sure.
I mean, when you start pushing a .357 bullet out, and you do it completely silently,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting concept for
You
the
got
future.
no muzzle.
Yeah,
muzzle
no
or
flash, nothing like that. It's an
completely
interesting
covert.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably being used.
How'd they power this thing? You pump it up? Is it like compressed air?
Yeah.
Compressed air.
You can use
CO2 cartridges, or you like just?
It's compressed, breathable air.
You could use your scuba tank.
Oh, I see.
To
Yeah.
fill it up.
Right.
Or just a normal air compressor. Pull out air from the thing, and they're basically
Oh, so
just
you can just have
compressing
an air
air.
compressor in the back of your truck.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's go pump this thing up and get it on.
Yeah.
That's good.
Those little what I first thought of. Those little
pumps.
for, like,
those
your
little
bike?
handheld compressors. They're really tiny. They
Oh,
run
yeah.
off batteries.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're just little tiny ones that you're supposed to pump up your bicycle or
Yeah.
something with them.
Yeah.
But I bet you know what I mean.
I mean,
Well,
could
no,
you
they
use like
said-
a hand pump?
Yeah, they said you could use hand pumps too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I didn't even hear that one.
So the cost would be minimal. You buy the system, lay down the grand, and then I'm sure those 357s probably aren't cheap.
yeah, I don't know.
probably
We
cheaper-
never asked
Cheaper
them.
than real ammo.
Cheaper
Yeah.
than real ammo.
There's no gunpowder. There's no brass case. There's no.
So the
you know.
cost to operate that thing's
Yeah, it's got to be
nothing really.
nothing.
I mean, I'm sure we all had our little like break barrel pellet guns when we were kids running around.
Oh, I had to
shooting
pump
anything.
one. You're
I had
sitting
to
there,
pump.
you're like,
I had the
go
one
as
you could
far as
pump
you
10
go.
times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. My mom got me one of these fancy ones. You like break the barrel once, it's like 1,000 FPS. I thought I was flying high, man. I had that thing. I used to keep it in a guitar case, walk up and down my neighborhood, my
Oh,
friend's
yeah.
house with it.
The mariachi.
Yeah, I thought I was fancy.
The only other thing you remind me about Range Day, and I'd just like to thank those guys out there. We showed our product to a few people at Range Day, not as many.
Yeah.
It was kind of all about those guys, which it should have been. But one or two people asked, and we showed them, and the corrections.
Yeah, USC SOG.
USC SOG, those guys, man, and Garcia out there. Just a big shout out to them. We showed it to them; they got it immediately, and that was good for what they do.
Garcia he took that thing and did an impromptu little road show with it,
Yeah, so big shout out to Garcia
awesome.
and just some thanks back that direction. If you guys haven't seen those guys, check them out. They got some real cool stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Check them out. We're going to have them on the show hopefully in the next couple of months. So look forward to that.
Yeah, we've had help from a few different places, especially when we did our little range day and our video shoot. So shootsteel.com, obviously,
Yep.
they've been helping us out a lot. Provide a really great product. Nice targets. Brother Recon, it's a charitable foundation for the reconnaissance community, as well as the R&S Foundation. They're also an organization that kind of brings the community together, helps guys out, helps families of wounded guys, putting their kids through school and things like that. So
Yeah.
check those guys out. They've got websites. We've linked them through our social media as well.
So you can go to asp.co and
Yep,
check
you can
that
see
out.
them on our news and media page, as well as links at the end of the VSO Gun Channel videos. Logos are up there and everything like that. So check those guys out. Maybe make a donation. Everybody appreciates that.
Awesome. And make sure you check out asp.co, guys. Check out the YouTube videos we've got posted, and the guys at VSO Gun Channel. They've got some cool videos there, too. Can't thank you enough, for making this possible, Brian, Alex. You guys are rock stars, man.
That's the best part too. Good people can help each other out, and all have a lot of fun and move forward the industry. So that's been really cool. It's hard to get that camaraderie we used to have in the military, and a lot of us that are out of the military now strive for that. So it's nice in this industry where we can bring that back together.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you made it, and we're able to get this thing set up. I mean, it was coming down to the razor's edge there, getting the
I
equipment.
know.
and,
We adapted and we overcame, man.
Zeke being out, I mean, it's been a wild ride out here this week.
Yeah. So you guys keep Zeke in your thoughts and prayers. I know he's probably gonna be back on his feet by the time they hear this, but we're thinking about you, big guy. Real quick, when can we expect them out?
So we're in manufacturing right now. We are expecting to have them in March and ship by April.
Okay.
We're going to do some quality control tests on them before they go out to make sure they're good. And the last thing there, too, is very important. We're going to stand behind these products, too. Bottom line is within a year, if there's something goes wrong, we just got your back. Just call us, talk to us, and we'll make it right.
Made in America.
Made in America.
America.
Made in America by veterans. I mean, you can't
Hells
really
yeah.
can't get better combination than that.
So pre-orders, you said on the website?
Correct. Yeah, we can take pre-orders now. So if you go up there, you see a big pre-order sign. just click it, put in your information, and as soon as they get released, there'll be one on the way to you.
There
Yeah.
you go, Leadheads. Check them out, asp.co.
Yeah, we started getting the website went live this Monday morning, and we started getting our first orders already. So
Already?
it's great.
There
Yeah,
you go,
word's out, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, guys. Appreciate you being on, and this is the first of many.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks
and
for having us.
congratulations on that 100th show again, man. Glad to be a part of it.
Rock on. And welcome back to the 100th episode of Talking Lead. We are at the 2015 SHOT Show, and we're being sponsored this year by the Artificial Shoulder Pocket, the ASP.co. Check them out. And we've got another one of our awesome sponsors here with us right now. Rob Pincus is in the house.
Hey man, how you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing good.
Good. I'm my voice is a little deeper than
You got-
normal on day
Got your
4.
Elvis
week.
voice going on, right? I think we all got a little bit of that. This dry climate out here is just killing me.
Well, and you know, there's so many people out here. Everybody, I'm sure, just heard of SHOT Show that's listening to this show. If not, Google it. It is an amazing event, and it's full of old friends, new friends, and everybody's got business to talk about or news to share. And this is my 19th SHOT Show.
19th.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So
Look at you go, man.
So, I
So,
got a
you
lot
started
of,
when you were 12.
started when I was 12.
Yeah.
Snuck in. Yeah. So
So your grampy was bringing you.
Spent the first 5 years just emptying the trash cans at night after everyone left the show floor.
Sweeping the floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they let me in during the business hours now, so that's cool.
So, yeah. And you're actually, you wear suits to these events.
I do. Here's the thing. I was on the range Sunday. I flew out here Sunday night. I had to be on the SHOT Show range day was Monday.
Yeah.
And so I flew out Sunday night, but I was on the range in Florida back at Ancient City, back at my home range teaching until 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I was only supposed to be there till noon, but, I don't want to leave the range, and there's students there. And, of course, we had Derek Poole was out there from Echo 5. He
Oh, yeah.
teaches under our banner as well with the combat focus shooting
You're
program.
being
So-
a responsible business owner.
well, he was going to finish class. The responsible thing to do would be to, meet my obligations, follow the plan, get out of his
Absolutely.
way, and just get on the plane. But instead, I thought it would be fun to just stay there until 3. Well, at the end of the day, what that meant was I got on the plane with the same clothes I was wearing on the range,
Yeah.
which made me look like every other person going to SHOT Show that doesn't actually spend time on the range, but gets really excited about
Kinda
putting
like
their
I
range
look
clothes
today.
on. Yeah. So, it's funny. This is a show that really spans. Like if you read the copy online, it's like the industry trade event for business professionals related. Great. Except there's also a lot of people here who just like firearms.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
I'm raising my hand.
There's 70,000 people here who like guns, who are involved maybe in the firearms industry every single day of their
Say
lives.
that number again. 70.
I think that's what I heard. 70,000.
Yeah.
this
It's
year.
like 77 or something like
Yeah,
that. It's
and
crazy.
but there's other people who may be wanting to get into the industry. Maybe they're not in the industry yet, but they're here to try to find their way into the industry. Maybe they work at the gun shop one day a week and they found a way out here. Maybe they're in law enforcement or the military, and we know not everybody in law enforcement or military is a gun person, right? But
Right.
some of them are, and they find their way here as well. So we all do have that in common, right?
Yeah.
We're all gun people in one way or
We're
another.
all gun
It's-
enthusiasts
it's
somehow,
cool.
some way. Pro Second Amendment.
Yep.
It's a lot of like-minded individuals with common goals that come together and have a good time, and learn.
Productive time. Really
Productive
productive time is the goal.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I do that. I throw the suits on, and I'm sitting down. We're doing business with some of the biggest companies in the industry through Personal Defense Network and my relationships. With a lot of the products like the Winchester W and Defender lines.
Right.
Winchester ammunition,
which
That's-
we got to
I'm going to put a
check
suit on.
out at the range day, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I was out there range day out there with them
You're
at
going
their
limp
range.
there, man.
Don't worry about it. What just happened. I'm so glad this isn't video. And now you made it even more awkward. So being involved with them, that's you put a suit on. It's something I figured out pretty early in my time in the industry is that this is a business show for a lot of us. This is our livelihood. This is what we do 365 days a year. But these 4 or 5 days out here really are where some of the biggest deals are put together and some of the biggest relationships are formed.
Yeah, this is like you said, some of the companies. This is their time of year to make their year. This is where they get a lot of their sales done and appointments and the relationships that you build out here also
Huge. Yeah, both during show hours and after hours.
And
for
we've
sure.
talked about this with some of the other guests that have been on. And this industry is one of the most welcoming as far as trying to help somebody who doesn't really know their way around it. You, for instance, when we were involved with it, I mean, you were, hey, you need to go talk to this guy. You need to go see this guy. Hey, you come over here, talk to these guys. They got something that could benefit you. So, and it's like that. We see that more than not in this industry, and especially at this show. I mean, everybody is just so. I don't know what the word is. It's just
that's leadership from the top. That's National Shooting Sports Foundation.
There
right?
you go.
The National Shooting Sports Foundation has built this show so that it is welcoming to the industry, and it does encourage those who want to be in it or are in it to go to a higher level of success. And they set it up that way, and that's the spirit that is engendered here.
Yes.
So it's their leadership that presents the opportunity for other people to follow in. And I think you're right. It's interesting. I would even go as far as to say you take somebody who's going to walk up to your booth and say, hey, I'm just getting started. I've seen people who are vice presidents, CEOs, senior salespeople, leaders of rep groups and companies take time away, just give the "I'll be with you in 1 minute" to somebody that they know is a customer they've worked with 5, 6, 7 years that might represent $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 worth of business, and say, "Hold on, just 1 second," and make sure that that new person gets to where they need to be, gets the brochure they want, gets to see the gun they want, or just gets them maybe to talk to somebody else at that moment.
Yeah,
but
they'll even talk to them themselves if they've got
the
an
time.
opportunity. Yeah,
for sure.
They're not going. They're not going. If they're just standing there, they're not going to say, "Hey, Jim, come here and talk to this guy." They're going to talk to you.
Now, you're in your 100th episode, I understand. Is that what we're doing
This
here?
is our 100th episode.
Would you still,
100.
Would you still have a guest on that's new to the industry? Or are you
Absolutely.
too big for that now?
No. We welcome everyone here. Who you got in mind?
I kind of felt like Zeke.
Wait a minute. Who you got in mind first?
Zeke's not here.
Right.
Am
So Zeke
I
is
not important enough to get his attention anymore?
Well,
is that what happened? 100th episode. He doesn't even need to be here.
Well, he's kind of. It's not his choice. Zeke is in the hospital.
What?
Yeah. So he's had a little incident. I mean, beyond his control. I don't know how much he wants us to talk about it or not, but he had
prognosis. I didn't see. Now this is news to me. I just thought he was blowing me off. Now I almost feel bad.
No, not at all. No, he had. I don't know if I should even say what it is or not. He's got a. I don't even say a condition. Then people are going to start speculating. So
he's probably.
No, he's something wrong with his ankle. He's got something going on with his ankle.
All right.
And he had to go to the emergency room.
Well, of all the body parts it could have been, ankles.
The ankle, yeah.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Zeke, get better soon. And sorry you're not here. Maybe you'll make the 200th episode.
Well, maybe he can make this episode. Maybe they'll get everything worked out, and he'll be patched up and come on out, and
I like it.
We can get him on. So. But one way or another, I'm sure we'll splice him in somehow.
We'll
get the
disregard
Squatch in
all
here.
of that. He was here.
I'll edit that out.
What are you seeing that you are excited about? I know you've got
that I'm excited about
at the show.
Wait a minute, I'm the interview. I'm interviewing you.
I know.
All right. So.
All right. Well, I'm
excited about talking to you, man.
Well,
all right,
fair enough.
And Chris Chang has been here.
I just saw him. I know. No, he's a
Gabby.
I like him.
Gabby's going to be on.
Good.
Gabby's been a part of our show. Almost from the beginning.
Yep.
And even the new guys. Caleb with the Lone Star Medic.
Caleb's great, and he's a perfect example of somebody who's
great
relatively new
too.
to the private side instruction. He joined us, Personal Defense Network, this year. Did his first training DVD with us. I guess we released it this 2014. We released his first training DVD. He's been writing some articles for us, and I know he's got some other stuff planned to talk about some distance education stuff. It's kind of the big new thing for us at Personal Defense Network in 2015 is legitimate online distance education with quizzes and certificates and tests and all that, just like you get through your local college or whatever. But Caleb's going to be part of that project. He's just a great teacher, great guy, and I enjoy working with him. So that's cool that he was on the show.
Yeah, very well spoken. Not to mention the trials and tribulations that I had with the equipment. You talk about the industry helping each other out. The guys from We Like Shooting were gracious enough to loan us some of their equipment. And even guest host with us, Sean Heron, stepped in to help me, get everything set up and get going. And I mean that's the type people that are in this industry. I mean they'll go above and beyond, what you expect, and just you're always amazed at the level of graciousness that they have.
I do like the setup. I was going to say it's looked like a little better setup than the last time we hung out. Last time you were like carrying around a microphone and a camera, walking through the halls of something. Last time we got.
Well, we still got that. It's over there on the tripod.
No, this is a a great setup. I think.
Yeah, we didn't actually bring our recording. Speak of the devil.
What's up, brother? They're hugging,
Sean,
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh! And you brought Jeremy with you too. Oh my gosh! Hey, wait! You could actually sub for Squatch.
Yeah. I mean, put on another 100 pounds and you'll be fine.
Yeah. You watch your ankles, man.
Yeah.
There's something going around for Squatches. So.
Probably tits.
Ticks, is that what it is?
He might have got ticks.
They have
Don't
ticks?
you guys? I thought you guys checked each other every day.
Yeah. It's kind of.
You didn't see any ticks,
We
did
even brought our spotters. Pepper's over there. Did you find any ticks on me?
No ticks.
Now, I'm not in the hospital, so I'm good.
Yeah,
It was
tick
him.
free.
Cool. Yeah. So the show. What have you seen that's really? Anything rocked your world yet? Or is
I
it
was
just-
really impressed with the GLS holster from Safariland. Bill Rogers is a mad scientist. He's come up with some amazing. He invented the Kydex holster. We know that in the 70s. He's done a lot of cool things. A lot of them through Safariland, and the GLS holster with its release system is cool and it looks solid and legit and safe and all that stuff. But what's really for me from an instructor point of view, the modularity, the fact that they've tested over 100 guns, that it can be very rapidly adjusted to accommodate. I did a little video I put up on Instagram the other day from the launch event that they had, and I switched from a Glock to put a P99, Walther P99 in there. Of course, it was loose. It didn't fit. Different shape, different size.
Right.
And I just took the tensioning wrench and made the adjustment in about 6 seconds.
It fit.
It fit, and the release worked. And, of course, you can go back. So for me as an instructor, I can have 4 or 5 in there. And obviously, it's an outside the waistband holster on a paddle or a belt slide. It's not the kind of thing I'm going to use to conceal carry. I'm going to use my crossbreeds, right?
Sure.
And that's still what I'm going to carry my gun in. I'm not going to switch to GLS, but as an instructor, I promise you this, I'm going to have a couple of those inside of the truck, because what it allows me to do is when the students show up to the range that day to get their combat focused shooting course on, and they're using, a generic holster that doesn't adjust and doesn't actually fit their gun or breaks, or if they just have a quality holster,
They've got
that
a
does
makeshift revolver holster that use it for their
or a sock. I understand some people use. So
I've not seen that one yet, but I wouldn't put it past somebody.
Oh, you want to Google sock holster? It's
Okay.
it's worth watching. Yeah, it's
I've
yes.
seen sock holsters for other things.
No, this is this
for a firearm.
Maybe that's where they got the idea. I don't know what they do in Europe land.
I'm gonna
So
Google that.
yeah, check that out. But meanwhile, the GLS is cool. So it allows me to have one or two of those in the truck, knowing it's going to fit 90% of the guns people are going to show up with. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, that's a great piece of kit to have for an instructor, just like you said. I mean, because
Exactly.
you never know what they're going to bring to class.
Or for the person who's not worried about concealed carry but does want to wear a holster to the range, or maybe they just do, IDPA competition or whatever it is they're doing where
They need some
aren't going to
protection.
carry, but they want to carry the gun at the range. The outside the waistbands are great. We do a lot of with the rack holsters. The rack holsters that we do at IC Training Company.
Right.
Those are really there primarily to support good, efficient training, not for use inside where someone's going to carry inside the waistband actually in their defensive every day.
Yeah.
The other thing, I haven't seen it yet. I need to get over to the Savage. Apparently has a semi-automatic 17 rimfire.
That's
rifle.
what I've heard.
And
Yeah.
I'm excited. Mainly, I'm excited because I heard they are expecting to be able to turn that into a 22 Magnum platform. And I think a
Cool.
reliable semi-automatic 22 Magnum is a great option for home defense. A low recoil,
The 22
powerful,
Magnum round is it's got some.
and I'm sure
punch.
that 17 will be as well. I don't know. There's some cost prohibitive aspects of using that in a 1,000-round carbine course, and then
Sure.
having that as your defensive gun that you're really going to train with. But it's got some application there. I'm sure that's not why they developed it, but I think that's interesting. Ashley Emerson has a new sight out, Ashley Performance Sight. It's a half-minute of angle wide white stripe front sight for an AR, and it's got quarter-minute adjustment elevation as a front sight, and it's a very, very impressive execution there. And he's a wizard when it comes to all the optics and sighting options. So that I saw that early in the show. What else did I see that was cool?
You know what was fun is at the Canon booth, Canon Safe booth.
Yes,
they have this little target thing set up
I've
with
seen
the
it.
CERT pistol.
Yes, I tried it.
That was fun.
I saw a buddy of mine, actually, he's been a student of mine, he's a friend of mine, AJ Zito. He got like 4-point-something seconds.
I know. I was trying to beat him.
One of the big shooter guys with the logos all over his shirt came in and beat him by like 0.2 seconds or
Did
something.
he really?
So, yes, I know he was going back. But whoever wins that gets a 50th anniversary Canon Safe.
Oh,
I was
really?
over there. Yeah, I got
I'm going back.
23 seconds was my time. It was pretty
23?
impressive. Yeah.
You know what I got?
Yeah, it was
8.1. What was it?
2.3, I think.
8.23.
I was actually right. I had one run that was actually clean. It was right around that 8-second mark. Maybe
No,
it
I
was
had
8.
one. My first one was 20.
Yeah,
something.
I did. I said, all right. There's a reason I'm not a competitive shooter.
Well, not with a SIRT pistol.
No, it definitely though. It's fun watching people do that. You know, I have a great relationship with Canon and Gun Vault, so I've been there the first 3 days. That's actually the only regularly scheduled appearance that I had here this year. So
Right.
watching a lot of people go through that was
So what
cool.
they're doing is they have the SIRT pistol in one of those
Speed vault.
biometric.
It's a speed
The
vault,
speed
yeah.
vault, the one that you featured on that talk show show.
Yeah, we showed something very similar. It's the same company, Gun Vault, that we did on Fox News.
Fox
when we
News,
did
yeah,
that in
that's
August,
right.
talking about securing the guns from the kids,
Right.
unauthorized access, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is the Speed Vault. The Speed Vault's the one that actually rocks open and presents the gun as if you were drawing from a holster.
That's
so
what
that
this
was
one
cool.
did, yeah.
And people are drawing, and where they are, they're at a 1.4 to 1.6 first shot, and that's from inside of a safe. So people say quick access. I don't want to lock up my home defense gun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're staging your gun for use. You're not
Yeah.
putting your gun, in Cosmoline and storing it.
It's not any slower than having to open a drawer.
No, it really,
Yeah.
for all practical purposes, unless you're just going to leave a loaded gun sitting on the tabletop,
Yeah, sitting on
which
a
most
tabletop.
people are going to agree is not a great idea for your
Yeah.
defensive gun. Unless you're going to do that, you're really not slowing yourself
Now
down.
I
and
do
you're
that,
getting a
but I
lot
don't
of
have
security.
kids.
Well, there
so-
is a time and a place. If your doors are locked, if your home is secure, if you're securing access to the home, then having firearms out responsibly is one thing. But if you've got kids in the house, you've got people
Absolutely.
coming and going,
Yeah.
you've got the maid, the plumber, whoever, the service people, whatever maybe
Lock
you
'em
don't
up.
want to do that. Yeah, well, secure them.
Lock them up. Yeah, secure them. Your training courses and classes. What do you got coming up?
The 2015 Personal Defense Network training tour is about to kick off.
You got a new rap for that?
We're going to do a new, not a rap song, to be clear.
Well, vehicle rap,
right,
yeah.
new vehicle. I'm actually getting
That would
a
be
whole
cool
new
though if
vehicle.
you did come out with a rap,
Song?
It
an
might,
actual
well,
song. Yeah,
maybe we'll get some consultants in on that.
I think we could probably do something. For
We
you,
might
man.
be able to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You guys work on that for me. Mention all the sponsors.
Yeah.
So we're actually putting together. That's a big part of SHOT Show for me and the Personal Defense Network team is to go around and have our meetings with our confirmed sponsors, people like Crossbreed Holsters who've been with us forever. They'll certainly be back. We've got some new sponsors which are really exciting. Breakthrough Clean is one of them.
Yeah.
Viridian lasers, green lasers, Instant On technology that they use is really cool. And these are products I'm familiar with. We always say, I get it. Like you go to the personaldefensenetwork.com website, there might be a banner ad there from a reputable company that makes good stuff that I don't necessarily recommend or that I don't use myself personally, right? It's a big industry and there's a lot of cool things going on out
Absolutely,
there. When it
yeah.
comes to the tour, if you're going to be on that wrap on the side of the truck, if it's going to be part of the Personal Defense Network training tour, which is primarily me and guys I trust out there educating people about life and death stuff,
Yep.
It's got to be something that passes a higher level than just an accepted company, right?
Sure.
So all of the products like Breakthrough, I've been using Breakthrough Solvent since NRA show. I met with them at NRA show and tried it out since April, May last year.
Yep.
So it was 6 or 7 months of using that and having students use it, having it out on the range, using it on my firearms, watching other people use it on their firearms before we said, yeah, we'll entertain the
Good
idea
stuff.
of you guys being
Yeah.
a sponsor of the tour. And sure enough, they've come in and now they have lubricant, which I've been using for about a month and a half, 2 months now. They've got new cleaning kits coming out, so that's cool.
So they've
company.
expanded. Okay, great.
Yeah, they're doing new things. Viridian, years. They've been a sponsor or an advertiser on Personal Defense Network for years. They're based back in Minneapolis, same place Personal Defense Network is based. So I've known those guys for a long time and used their technology as well. So
And
Springfield
Crossbreed still.
Crossbreed still, Springfield Armory. We've got a few others that we'll kind of keep under wraps until they're on the wrap, I guess. But
Okay.
I'm getting a new vehicle. The FJ Cruiser is retired.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, now can we tell? Can you tell what it? Is
No,
that
we're
going
going
to be revealed later?
That is to be announced. Yeah,
Sweet.
to be announced. And I'll be honest with you, there's actually 2 vehicles in the running,
Okay.
and I'm going to make that. I wanted to get through SHOT Show, and I walked over to that.
man,
I
I
walked
can-
over to the Dodge booth and said, "Hey guys, I'm getting a new vehicle. If you guys want to, just
You wanna
give me the
step
keys
up?"
to that one." So yeah, I thought that might save me $40,000 or $50,000, but it doesn't look
That
like
would be
so.
awesome. Yeah.
Looks like we're getting a new vehicle probably within the next 10 days, and then sometime in February we'll announce
I'm intrigued.
what that is.
I can't even speculate what it can be.
There are 3 vehicles being considered. They're all somewhat different.
Okay.
There are 3 different two of them are probably in the same category, but there's
I was
a
going to
difference.
say, can you get? Is it the SUV or?
Well, there's
is it
different
the
kinds of SUV. You know,
truck?
now we've got these SUVs that are sort of glorified minivans, but some of them are very sporty and handle well. You know, the kind of unibody. Then you've got some body on frame SUVs. There aren't very many of them out there, but you've got some real truck SUVs that are still in the
Now,
industry.
and that's what for the way you abuse a vehicle. I'm not going to say it, you put them through some. You
am
work
not
'em.
afraid. I use vehicles. I use vehicles like I use guns.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tools.
I can't see you getting one that's not on a truck frame.
Right. So
You
there
know?
is that.
So that's
but
going
then-
to kind of narrow it down a little
But the
bit.
other side of that is that you got at the end of the day, we got to be realistic. My tour is 98% interstate, right? At the end of the day,
That's
I'm putting
true.
most miles on the interstate, and we cover a lot of ground. We go from Florida to the Pacific Northwest. Last year, we went up to Alaska, and
I'm seeing a hybrid. I'm seeing a hybrid.
What if there was a wagon in the mix?
a wagon?
Sedan performance, maybe something a little sporty, plenty
Yeah.
of room.
Lots of room,
So,
good gas mileage.
You know, so there's all kinds of things that could happen.
Okay.
All kinds of
All right.
things could happen.
So when's this going to get revealed? When are we going to find this out?
You know how I mean, I'm probably not good at keeping secrets.
She's going to get leaked out.
Yeah, that's probably so. Once
You're going to go, all right, I can't wait
there'll be a
anymore.
picture on Instagram,
Instagram,
4 minutes
bam.
after I get the temporary tags. But
Yeah.
in theory, we might wait as long as getting the wrap on there and really not let. I think it probably depends on what color I get, right? If I really like, if I like the color, then we'll probably show it off.
All right, here's what
We
you
might
do.
wait until it looks really cool.
Here's what you do. All right, so when you decide what you're going to get, you do like little bits and pieces, and you have a little contest or something. And who can guess what it is
All right,
in the shortest amount of
I like it. You're a
of
marketing
pieces,
genius.
then
All right,
they win a crossbreed or something. You
I
know?
like it. So you're suggesting not like take a picture of the entire back of the vehicle.
I'm saying make a contest. Make it
All
fun.
right, all right,
Make it fun.
all right. I'll make it fun.
And I've been playing this stupid movie.
I'm known for fun.
Yeah, I know you are. You know, so
Oh,
I'm surprised you didn't think of this.
second thought.
Yeah, so I've been playing a stupid movie game on my phone, and it just like gives bits and pieces of movie posters,
Mhm.
and you got to, you guess it with the fewer amount of people, you get more points. You know, that's what made me think of that. So thought that would be cool.
Right. So I could take the whole I could take a picture.
you take the whole picture,
and then black it out.
right, and
except
then
for
you
like a.
just do a little piece here and there.
Or I could take pictures like the inside of the air filter box.
Yeah,
Right?
Take a picture of the brake pads.
Some guy who works in AutoZone is gonna be like, "Oh, I know what it is."
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
all right.
That's the way one of those movie posters. I'll get like a corner up here that's got like half a face or something, and I can guess it just like that.
You're good with half a face.
That's what it
You're
is.
the Rain Man of movie posters.
That's right. That's right. You give me any movie poster. You just give me like 1/16 of the poster. I can tell you what it is.
All right. Challenge accepted.
All right.
Stand by for post to your Facebook page, sir.
Modern movies, though, we can't go back to like Gone with the Wind type stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want that.
But I actually did guess that one, and
so that one actually would work.
it would.
That would
I
work.
did guess that one in like two reveals or something like that. So anyway,
I'm sure people are fascinated
I
by
know. They're like, what the hell?
direction that this conversation is taken.
oh well.
What do you have to do? I know you're supposed to be doing the interview, but I'm always curious because I've been to so many SHOT Shows. Like I
Yeah.
get it, right? So like
Yeah.
this is your fourth,
The second.
second. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
me?
last year was our first, man.
All right. So what do you want to do? So you're in this room. It's a cool room. But what
So
do you
we've
want to
already-
do
I mean-
tomorrow before you leave here? What else do you need to see?
What else do I need to see?
Have you heard about? Well, you haven't seen the Savage. We know that.
No, I want to see the Savage.
Anything else?
I really haven't had the opportunity to really to know what's out there.
Mhm.
Other than range day. I was out
Right.
there checking some of that stuff out.
Did
I'm
you check
going-
out the new SIG, the MCX, the new carbine over at SIG?
No, I haven't checked that out either.
Did you shoot the Mutant? Did you shoot the AK Mutant from CMMG? I don't know if you saw the video we did, but that's kind of the new thing from CMMG is their AK-AR hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah, check out the Mutant.
No,
Very
yes,
cool.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
congratulations.
As a matter of fact, yes,
But it's obviously very memorable.
we did do that. Well, when you said mutant, it didn't. But when you said the hybrid of the AK, yeah, we did that.
Pretty cool?
It is.
Yeah,
It's real
so
cool.
if you're in the 7.62 by 39 and you like ARs, there's your solution.
Yeah.
And really, it's people that don't understand why why not just make it a 7.62 by 39 caliber AR. Well, you really can't. The bolt doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. You have to relieve too much of the bolt for it to be structurally sound, right? And we
Exactly.
know that we've had problems with that forever. A buddy of mine, when I bought my first AR in Vermont in 1992 or so, a buddy of mine went to the store. The only other Colt in the store after I bought mine was a 7.62 by 39. He bought it, and it lasted like 4 minutes. I mean, it just didn't.
That was it.
Never.
It
He was
just
not excited
disintegrated.
about it.
Yeah,
Um,
they broke it down for us, and they showed us the bolt. It's a lot shorter, little stubbier bolt that they've got on there. yeah, I mean it shot
cool.
really good.
Yeah,
too.
it does. Yeah, no, I shot it a
Enjoyed
lot. I got one of the first production models. You know, I don't like to mess with prototypes. You know, I don't really care what the prototype does. I don't care what the press release says. Give me a production model.
Give me
play
one
with
that's
it.
supposed to work.
And it worked out. It worked really, really well. So I was
Cool. So
excited about that.
is that one you're gonna have on tour with you?
Well, CMMG's back also. They're another one of our sponsors. It's
Awesome.
back, so they'll be our rifle sponsor. And, you know, of course, we're primarily AR-based, and our students will
Sure.
come out with ARs. And I will probably have a Mutant in the new tour vehicle
Yeah.
just to show off a little
the
bit. you know.
AK is, it's very popular, and you start seeing more and more and more. I mean, you're already seeing more and more show up in training classes. So
Well, we went through a spike, because there's been a couple spikes, and since, I've been teaching regularly, where they get more popular and they kind of come and go. This is one where I think if let's say someone invested, they got caught up a little bit in the fad of AKs maybe a few years ago. They weren't really invested in it heavily. They went back to ARs, but they've got the magazines laying around. Maybe they still have a case of ammunition. They kind of liked some of it, but they didn't really. They still like the AR more. That I think is the perfect candidate to purchase the Mutant, because now that they've already got the magazines, they like the 30 caliber concept of the round, but they'd rather shoot an AR. Well, essentially, when you pick that Mutant up, you're shooting an AR.
Yeah.
When you reload, or if you have any of the administrative
It's an
functions,
AK.
it's an AK.
Yeah.
But the shooting, picking that gun up, getting it off safe, and
now
taking
the
your shots.
safe is the AR.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
don't
That's
have
what I mean
you
to
don't
say.
have
No,
the big
you don't have
AK
the big,
swipe.
taking that
so
safety off and firing the shots.
everything
It
mechanical,
feels like an AR.
yeah, like that's an AR. Other than the mag loading, everything else was the AR. So it's
And
a
it's
natural
interesting.
fit.
When I was reloading it exactly, in fact, if people see my video that I did kind of talking about it when it was launched, I'm reloading it just like I would reload an AK. The fact is, once you know the trick with how to use your trigger finger to eject the magazine, you can actually treat it much more like an AR. You obviously have to rock the magazine in like an AK magazine, but as far as the magazine release, you don't have to sweep the old magazine out. You can use your trigger finger to release it.
Yep.
As soon as one of their CMMG guys is like, no, do this. It's even more AR-like. I'm liking it more every day. So
So we got some video on that one. But the coolest thing that I've seen, just kind of outside my realm of what we do, is we went to Crossman, and they had a 357 air rifle, bullpup.
Really?
Yeah, and it's got a 147 grain bullet that it shoots, and they call it a bullet, not a pellet.
Wow.
It's an actual bullet, and
How fast
they're
is it
taking
moving,
down.
do you know?
They're taking down big game with this,
What?
like elk and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
Elk
amazing.
Killing air rifle.
Air rifle.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and it's air rifle, so you don't have to go and it's not a race. You just go store and buy it, and it's good to go.
I like it.
And it's
quiet.
quiet.
Single shot, obviously.
Single shot, yeah.
You
Single
must
shot.
have to pump it up a lot.
Well, it's like compressed air. You pump. You need to pump it up a lot. You put compressed air in it. You can do it from a scuba tank or whatever, and you just you get the PSI up. It's got a little gauge on there, and then you can boom.
I like it. I kind of want to mount one of those on the new tour vehicle.
There you go.
It sounds like something I need on the bumper.
It's cool, and it's a bullpup.
Uh-huh.
It's a bullpup design.
Plenty of room inside of that ARB bumper. I mean, if you can put a winch in there, you could probably put 2 bullpup air guns.
It's that way you wouldn't have to reload as much.
Right. Single shot.
Now, if they ever
twice.
come out with a semi-auto air gun like that, look out.
Did you shoot that? Was it out at the range?
Yeah, it was out there.
I'm intrigued. I missed that. I was at the Winchester range, so we were doing demos all day, and
Right.
we had Jedburgh targets out there. That was cool.
We
getting
got to
show them
shoot
off.
those
That's
too
right.
while
Yep.
we were there. Those were awesome. Those
So,
are really cool targets. I need to get that guy on here too.
Scott
Yeah,
Watson, yeah,
need
good
to get Scott on
dude,
here.
good dude, very smart engineer.
Yeah,
West Point,
has to be to design something like that.
yeah,
you know?
sure. Well, and make it work.
Right.
I've seen a lot of cool things designed on napkins by guys who were not that bright.
Yeah. So they give them to guys like him, and they make them work.
Right.
Yeah.
So he got to start the concept and then the execution. He's got a good team too. He's got a good team of engineers working with him.
Yeah, we definitely need to get him on and get our listeners exposed to that target system because it's
Cool,
badass.
and I get it. Like the average person sitting there listening, I'm not going to go out and buy a $30,000 system, but he's
No.
got some new stuff coming out with polymer, and he's scaling down the technology. And plus, as he builds more, they learn more
Yeah.
about how they can make it more efficient.
Or if your range gets that system,
That's the trick,
you know,
And I think
then
that's
you're
it.
going to want to go to that range because you're going to want to shoot that.
Spread. The more the community knows it's out there, the more the people listening to the show right now go to their range
Go to
and
your
say,
range,
"Hey, have you
request it."
considered this? Have you seen it?
Mhm.
Go look at this. Go look at that. Learn about it." Now all of a sudden, the ranges understand
Absolutely.
that their customers want things like
Yeah.
the Jedburgh
They
target
want
system.
steel. They don't want paper.
Right. Exactly.
Well, Rob, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for making this 100th episode epic.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys have done a lot since we first met at the NRA show. And
well, that's due to you. We appreciate everything that you do for us. Thank you, and hopefully by us doing what we're doing, we're returning the favor.
Yeah, man, you're spreading good
way.
information, and you have great people on, and I like to listen to what you guys are doing and watch what you guys are doing on the video, and even when I'm not on or our guys aren't on. But I think you're really your perspective. You've been very true to your mission over your 100 episodes.
Thank you.
Sometimes I watch people. I just had this conversation recently with someone who kind of started off on a similar mission that you did, and then lately maybe they've taken a left-hand turn to where they're now all of a sudden doing they're the expert. Yeah, yes. Well, they've taken a turn away from the left-hand model that you've established to where they're kind of now I'm the expert. I've been doing this for a while now. Let me tell you how it is, and where'd the guests go? Where'd the information where'd the perspective go? And you guys have really remained true to your initial mission of we're just along for the ride. We want the viewer, the listener, whoever, the person reading what we're putting out on Facebook, we want them to experience what we're experiencing as we enjoy an adventure in the firearms industry as novices, as people new to it. And you're certainly not novices anymore, but you have a great perspective that I think people appreciate.
Yeah. We're like our buddy Paul says, we're students of the gun.
Yep,
we're
absolutely
always wanting to learn and improve, and we'll never be experts.
Well, you're experts at sharing the information, and that's the job you're doing, and I appreciate the way you guys do it.
Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Rob, good luck with the rest of the show, and I'm sure we're going to hang out some, maybe have some adult beverages a little bit later.
See you at the bar around 10 p.m.
Word.